Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another episode on Talk Architecture podcast, and I'm your host, Naziaty Muhammad Yaacob. I have with me our guests to be interviewed on the topic of women architects in leadership roles. And thank you so much, Architect Almaz Salma Abdul Rahim, for coming today and give some points of view with regard to this topic.
Thank you, Naziaty, for having me this morning.
Okay, let me go and give an introduction that Architect Almas is a managing director of Almas Architects, Sundrian Berhad, winner of awards and 41 years of experience in the industry. With about 250 design works in Malaysia. Also, one of those who started the Singgah KL, a promotion of the profession of architecture with Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia, PAM. Now, I got a bit of some ideas about what we're going to start with, and I think we're going to start with where you are right now, Architect Almas. You did give me a statement that the biggest challenge to women architects is not when they're employed, it's more when you own your own company and need to lobby for work. Men have a different way of networking. How different is that? And do we need to learn from them? And what is it that a woman can give into the industry? Is there such a thing? Or we need to go and play how the men play in the industry? I mean, you're in the top position now, having your own company and established. So what would you say to that, Architect Amas?
Yeah, that's something that I realized. Now I've had my own practice for 31 years now. And I've shared this position with many other women entrepreneurs and company owners. And that is quite consistent in most women-owned companies. Somehow, men have a different way of networking, like they play golf.
Mm.
Uh, they have, happy hours. They meet up for lunch. Uh,
And we don't do enough of that, do we?
um, I know a lady architect who plays golf, and that's her way of networking.
Okay.
But I feel that we have to learn, and I have actually joined a network in an international networking group to learn how to do it. They have a system of doing it. I
Mm-hmm.
think we have to go and uh, learn these new things outside of the work of architecture if you want to move on with your business, there are limitations to us. I mean, we're women, we have husbands, we have children. Somehow the whole um, complexity of um,
Mm.
intertwining mixing
Intertwining,
our
yeah.
work,
Yes.
intertwining work and family and
Complexities. Mm-hmm.
recreation takes a lot of our time, So somehow this is making a decision, or do we put an hour a week to do this? Do we go out of our way to call people and make appointments, But it's something we have to do, and we have to learn within the
Yeah.
limitations of our how to say, our femininity, our how to say, tata tertib, that we practice. But we have to do it. It's never taught in school. It's never taught when
Mm.
you are working,
Yeah.
but it's something you have to know when you start your own practice.
I guess this starts very early. I mean, from the beginning, when someone is a fresh graduate and they need to be careful or do their research before they choose which company for them to start off with. Is that important? I mean, how they're going to learn, who are their mentors at the beginning? Would you like to give some reflection on that aspects from the
Oh, yeah.
beginning?
Yeah, I think it's so important to work in a good established company when you start out.
Yes.
Then at least you can see um, what the do's and the don'ts,
Okay.
the steps that need to be taken to be a good architect. I mean, there's so many things that are not totally unable to be taught in school. You talk about design, you talk about concepts, so social aspects of it, of the community, a bit of engineering, a bit of M&E, but there's so much more out there that you need to learn. So being a good company where there are various types of work going on, of course, they will, as a student, they will put you in design first, but it's a matter of you making a statement. You can't go on doing design for 10 years. If
Okay.
you want to be a full-fledged architect, ask that you can actually carry this project on to site to learn about the contract side. You have to be
Mm-mm.
quite assertive
Mm-mm.
if you want to learn everything that you need to learn. You cannot just be, okay, I'm good at this, I just be happy doing this, because you're not going to get the experience to be a full-fledged architect if that's what you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So many people
Yeah.
have different goals
Mm.
in life in architecture. Maybe they're just happy doing design and not concerned about having to learn about running a contract or learning about the contractual side of it. Maybe some people might be happy just doing that. But if you want to see go full circle and take a part three exam and
Yeah.
be a registered architect, you do have to stick your neck out, make yourself
Mm-hmm.
stand out that I would like to learn more than what I'm good at. I think the challenge is there. You shouldn't be afraid of venturing something you don't know. So much you don't know. You have to keep on requesting that. I want to be able to specify. I want to be able to do tender drawings. I want to be able to run this
Mm-hmm.
project.
Mm-hmm.
So I think women have to be quite forthright, quite assertive in asking.
Yes, that's what I also get from different interviews about this stepping out of your comfort zone and not be afraid to venture out. And if you're really serious to be someone who wants to take that part three and need to go through all those experiences to prove that, eventually that you touch on all the aspects. That's one thing. Another thing is the feeling of fear of venturing out. um, it happens to a lot of us in the beginning, especially. We get like stories about the male dominated industry or the difficult, well, male dominated industry is one thing, it's a bigger thing, but the difficulty in dealing with clients and contractors who could be more, there'll be more male on the site, for example. So, how do you negotiate? Do you remember how you negotiated and went through all that? Before.
Well, it should be more daunting for me because I come from a family of three girls. We have no brothers.
Okay, okay.
So we never knew
All
how
right.
to deal with the guys, except for cousins.
Yeah.
But
Was there a project that you remembered that was not really, it was a very challenging project, you were chairing a meeting for the first time or something, or you had to go and do some checklists and or trying to convince them of something? Were there any particular that
I have to give credit to my mentor,
Hmm.
Mr. Kam, an architect Kam
Eh,
Pat Chong
how
of
about you? I
BP
heard of him,
Architect.
yes.
Yes, he um BP is the only place I worked with. I worked there for 10 years until
Okay.
I was appointed an associate.
Hmm.
Then I left to start my own. But he would always introduce me to the meeting, and everyone would be aware that I would be there if he's
Hmm.
not there to lead the team.
Okay.
So I think it's quite important for your boss to make that statement, on your behalf to show that you're in charge. And I really appreciate that because
Hmm.
I've never had any how do you say criticism, or maybe one or twice I had some how to say feminist remark, but
Gender.
gender
Discrimination or
remark.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very mild. But I think it's important to speak up and put them down straight away and not swallow that whatever they
Put
said.
them down. That's
Yes,
interesting.
you have to.
You need to counter like a fight, right?
Yeah, I mean, excuse me.
Yes.
I said, well, let me see, what did I say? Excuse me.
Yes.
You know, oh, I can't remember what I said now.
Excuse me. Please listen to me. I'm in charge here of this thing, this role of the architect. Yeah, it's
Oh, oh,
could be easier said than done, maybe for some individuals, isn't it? I mean,
right.
you don't have the experience or you don't have the confidence. I think that maybe,
But that's the thing. That's one thing I always tell the women architects who work for me.
yeah,
You must be you must be knowledgeable.
yeah,
You
yeah,
must
yeah.
know your work back to front, left to right, top down. You must know the decisions of why you do things. You must know your materials. You must know your floor areas. You must know your cost. You must know your engineer structure and his
Mm,
M&E. You must know everything that they know. So that if anything, that gives you confidence. Knowledge gives you confidence.
correct, correct.
You see? Because I have situation when I was employed that we're building a hotel and the engineers keep on changing.
Mm,
Like I knew everywhere, every pipe that ran in the building.
yeah,
Nobody could, question what I knew about their work.
yeah.
So that throws people off. So
Mm,
my suggestion is know everything. Just learn everything and uh, be on top of it.
mm,
But
mm.
that's not just for women, it's for men too.
Yeah, yeah, be on top.
My advice to my architects, regardless men or women, you have to own your project. You might be working for me, but you have to own your project so that people believe in it. He has to believe in it. He or she has to believe into that project. Then others will respect him or her for it.
Is it difficult that younger architects, when they come in or graduates, because they have so much of their individuality, that it takes a while for them to go and be a team player? Because when you talk about they have to believe in it, somebody else designed it, but still they have to believe that it's part of them, so that on site they would be, they would know it like the back of their hand. So is it that there is this gap in terms of intelligence, maybe emotional intelligence, which they need to learn as in practice? I mean, how easy is it to mentor graduates? What do you mentor them still?
Yeah, most of the new graduates come in now as BIM modelers.
Sorry.
BIM modelers.
Okay.
Because we are on BIM.
Okay. BIM modelers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they come in. We employ graduates, part one and part two, and
Mm.
depending how they fare, then they could go on as architects. And we've taken some who have the flair, to assist us in meetings, so they actually follow us to the meeting. But how do you say? In my practice, architects who design carry the project through to construction to completion.
The whole
We're not
works.
a huge company where we have people just doing design.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
I find that they find it more fulfilling. I have often asked, would you prefer we change the system? I'm very democratic. Do you prefer
Yeah.
we change the system that you just do design or you just do project management? Oh, no, 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 no. We want to
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
So if they are part of the design
Mm.
from the beginning, they must know all the processes into the decision making. So they should be able to stand up for it when they go on site. And that's the power of being on the project from beginning to end.
Okay. Yes. How many do you employ in your company? I just want to have
There are
understand.
18 of us,
18. So it's like a medium-sized company.
medium size.
Yes, and most of your projects are residential, or you said?
Mostly residential, a few educational.
Okay, this is fun. Understanding about that your company, usually the architects, how many are architects that design and take the project into construction from the 18 of your staff members?
Oh, let me see. Yeah. Three of us are directors.
Mm.
I'm the only one who doesn't take the project beginning to end because I have to focus on other things.
Okay.
So,
Understood.
so let me see. There are three, four, uh, six architects, including the directors, and we have three others who are part one and part two who are BIM modelers. So that's 9 architects.
Okay, they started off as BIM modelers. Since when did we start taking people as BIM modelers and then they have a chance to become an architect? Because I remember there was like part one, and then after that you have part two. After part two, or still you have to be a BIM modeler, can?
Yeah, but we have one part one who's a BIM modeler, and we have two part twos of BIM modelers.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, just get the context of where you're coming from, and you were working with BEP for 10 years. And there was a very good gender-friendly mentor in Mr. Kampak Cheong.
Yes.
Because I heard a lot of good things about him, but I never actually went to
You
see
just do your job, and he support you. I mean, that I think that the kindness shown when I had children, like when I had to go into hospital, so just go look after them. When you're
Oh,
there,
yeah.
well, you come back. That kind of is it empathy? Is that the
Yeah,
correct word? I'm not sure.
empathy will be
So
good.
so
Yeah.
we take that through when I have my own staff, we allow them that space, the time to deal with their family, regardless they're men, women, then come back, or work from home,
We will go into that in the next part. Our part one has come to an end, and and we'll
already.
go into the how you would look into female architects issues that in your company, and maybe go into the networking a bit more, like we started with just now. And unless you want to say something before we end the part one discussion.
Mm,
What else do you think
I
that's
think it's emphasize that to be knowledgeable is the most is your strongest um the quality that you can have to absolutely know your project and be firm about it. That's fundamental to being a leader and someone people can respect,
regardless of their gender? Yeah.
regardless. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for I'll see you in part two.
Right.
Okay.